Scary story time on how I was left at school until 9 p.m. and a stranger drove me home while I make slime. Period. Yeah. I was like 14 years old when this happened. And y'all already know, get your money's worth in what? Let it rain. So boom, this is freshman year. I already mentioned I was 14, and this is also the year my auntie ended up getting sick with cancer. So with that being said, all of like the responsibility fell on my older cousin, and you know, sometimes you forget things when you're dealing with bigger things. So I got dropped off at like 8:30, 8 p.m. and I got let out of school at like 2:15, 2:20. Okay, y'all already know when you get let out of school, sometimes people are going to be talking in front of the school, some people are walking home, other people are walking to the store, like everyone's doing their own thing. So at this point, I'm tired, I've been in school all day, so I go to my designated spot. This is warm water with baking soda, but I already knew it was going to be a minute before somebody came to pick me up, because for some reason they would go pick up my cousins first when my cousin's school was further than mine. For some reason the baking soda did not work this time, but whatever. But anyways, this usually took around like what, 15-20 minutes for them to go to their school and then mine. I was in my spot, I was in my zone, and I was too afraid to whip out my Enjoy. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't know where anybody else. I'm tired. Let me just kick back my feet and lay back. I'm also gonna add some of this slime. But anyways, yeah. It's actually the front of my old school, but I'd lay down on this thing. These are kids like on it, but like literally I would just lay down where these kids are sitting, but on the other side. Like I'm gonna close my eyes for a couple of seconds. Like it's not gonna be that freaking long. Okay, y'all, I messed up the time schedule. I actually got let out of school at like 3:40. Everything still applies, but the time is different. So I actually went to school at like 7:30 and then got out at like 3:40. So at this point, I lay down and I go to sleep, okay? And I started to feel uncomfortable, so I woke up and I'm like, you know, what time is it? Like, where is everybody at? What time is it? Y'all, it was 4:40 and I was still in front of the school by myself. So at this time, I'm looking at my phone being delusional, and I'm like, okay, maybe they got held up at practice, like maybe something important happened, you know, that's probably what's going on here. And I just decide to connect to the Wi-Fi and I start texting my people on Text Now, texting people on Instagram, calling them on Instagram and Text Now, because my phone was not on. The sun is starting to set, it's going on 5 o'clock, and the people who do sports, they're leaving the school. Like literally my friend, she's leaving the school and she's walking home. I know people are gonna be like, okay, so why didn't you walk home? You know, and honestly, y'all, I started to think about walking home, but across the street from my school was this park. You know, during the day, like kids would probably skip to the park and they would do things in the park, but during nighttime, the park was actually really creepy to pass by. Really creepy and sketchy, if I'm being honest. But whatever.